If you're going to Electric Zoo, today we're going to be diving into their 2022 lineup, and I'll be sharing some of the artists that you should check out. Electric Zoo has always been this festival that has kind of fascinated me. You know, it's in New York City. It has a very big and diverse lineup. I've always been interested in attending. However, sadly, I will not be going because it falls on Labor Day weekend and I will be at another festival. But nonetheless, this was requested for me to check out this lineup and to give you guys some recommendations. As this festival is in September, you have a lot of time to check out the lineup and get to know some of those artists. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Electric Zoo is on Labor Day weekend. Like I mentioned, it is at Randall's Island Park. I'm going to defer to my girls BB Howell and Emma Capotis for all the tips and things you need about this festival. This lineup does feature a lot of exciting names. There's also some stage hosts with Bite This, which is Jaws' label, Brownies and Lemonade, which is a very iconic group from LA. Carl Cox invites. Carl Cox, you guys. Confession, which is Chami's label. Odyssey, I'm not sure who that is. And Sunday School, which I'm not too familiar with. But the stage host seems really dope. I think they typically have 4 to 5 stages, if I want to say. I'm not too sure, but it does seem to be pretty spread out. And this lineup is stacked. So let's go ahead and get into it. If I don't say a name, it's probably because I most likely don't know that artist. So I'm going to do my best and I'll round it out and let you guys know some of those artists I would be most excited about. Kicking it off, Abraxas, which is Seven Lions' side project with Demibo. It is a psytrance project. That's going to be really dope to check out. And it looks like he's also on this lineup. So he's going to have 2 sets at Electric Zoo. AC Slater, our night bass king. Night bass always throws down. Absolutely love AC Slater. Afrojack's on here, which is pretty dope. I've actually never seen a full Afrojack set. I think I saw a little bit at EDC and I was like fist bumping and I was like, yep, this is an Afrojack set. Andrea Oliva, back-to-back. Ilario Alicante. This is going to be an awesome tech house back-to-back. That is definitely one I would check out. I feel like that would be a really good time. Pache, I'm pretty sure is bass. I've heard a lot of people talk about him. He seems to be a really exciting act to check out. Arm & Hammer, melodic bass duo. They're always a good time. Always put you in the feels, but then you're always like vibing out to it too. Armin van Buuren is on here, the king of trance. We love him, we stan. AU5 back-to-back Chime. So I'm not too familiar with Chime, but AU5 is more so melodic bass, I would say. Melodic dubstep even sometimes. So I'm pretty sure they would be similar vibes. Would be really interested to see that back-to-back. Bijou, the king of G House. So if you like house music but has more of like that bassy gangster kind of vibe, definitely check out Bijou. He's from Arizona too, which is where I'm from. So it's always cool to see Arizona represented on lineup. Biscuits is a tech house artist that I've been dying to see for the longest time. I still have not seen him. He's high on my list to see. Fingers crossed I'll get a chance to see him soon. But I've been dying to. This is definitely an artist I would recommend you check out, especially if you love tech house. Blossom. I talk about her every single time she's on a lineup. She's getting more and more on these lineups and I'm so proud of her. She is a very awesome bass house artist. She's also dabbling in some drum and bass. She's also from Arizona. She's a queen. I love her. Bontan, I actually haven't checked out his stuff, but he is more so house music, I'm pretty sure. We have featured him on Gray Area, which is a company that I work for. Camel Fat. We all know I love Camel Fat. This tech house duo. I love them so much that like their sets are so much fun and they just take you on a journey. It's so, I love it. Posey, this is an up and coming tech house artist. She's more so like a bassy kind of tech house. Like she was featured on the Night Bass versus Confessions tour. So I think she was more so on the Confession side. I think she has releases on Confession, so she'll probably be at that takeover. Then we have the king, Carl Cox. Oh yes, oh yes. If you have not seen a Carl Cox set, I'm just going to make that your #1 priority. No matter who was on, go see Carl Cox and thank me later. Champagne Drip, really awesome, more experimental bass type artist. I've actually been wanting to see him. I don't think I've seen him yet. I love some of his stuff. He does have a song with Lucy that I really like too. Charles Meyer, I'm pretty sure is house. I think we've also featured him on Gray Area. Cheat Codes, I've seen before. I saw them at EDC. Their old stuff kind of has a soft spot in my heart. I feel like I really love their old stuff. Haven't really listened to their new stuff, but they're very high energy, like more like EDM pop kind of vibe. They'll probably be at like main stage, I would guess. Chi back-to-back, Saruda, I'm pretty sure is bass. Chelina, I saw open for Carl Cox, really fun tech house vibe. She really lets you kind of groove and move and all of that. I love her sets. Chris Lake, we all know I love Chris Lake, so I don't need to talk too much about him. I love him. Definitely go see him. Sid is also a really awesome tech house artist. He was more so future house, but now he's kind of transitioned into tech house. He has some awesome releases. We featured him on Gray Area. His sets are really fun. Definitely recommend. Closey, our tribal bass queen. I love her so much. I always will recommend her. Christoph, I've never seen before, but if you like more of that melodic progressive house like Eric Prydz, then you would definitely like Christoph. I definitely feel like his sets would be more of like a journey and build up and like, really good. Dabin, I always love. I haven't seen him in a while, but I saw him a lot back before the pandemic. Devin James is house. Diesel, Shaq is gonna be there. Say Less, you know what I mean. Dimension is a drum and bass artist that I've heard BB Howell talk a lot about. I haven't checked them out myself, but I've heard they're really good. She's freaked out anytime that he's been on a lineup. So DJ Holographic, I actually saw her at Cross. This is another house artist. Really good time. That could be a fun set to check out if you like house music. DJ Snake, Sunset Set, probably also a vibe. I've seen DJ Snake a lot before the pandemic. He always is a good time, high energy set. Sunset vibes for sure I think will be cool. I think the main stage also has the city in the background. I'm pretty sure I saw a photo like that, so that would be cool kind of view. Eden Prince sounds familiar for some reason. G Jones back-to-back E-Prom. I know I'm all about house music, but that is a back-to-back that I would go to because I love G Jones. Something about that experimental bass just gets me sometimes. Gem and Tori, I love this duo. Deep house melodic vibes. I still have not seen them live. I just remember watching them during the pandemic on live streams, and I also love their music, so they're still on my list to see. Gordo is basically Carnage's house alter ego. He's going to be on here. There's no Carnage set, so I'm curious if he's actually being Gordo for like a lot of his sets this year. I heard some people really liked his set. They saw him when he was here in Austin. There was pretty good feedback about it. Gorgon City, you guys know I love this duo. Gorgon City is one of my favorite like tech house duos. They're always a good time. They have more of like that bounce to it too. Elon Bluestone, so we got some trance up in here. Enzo, really great, like happy future bass, experimental bass. I love some of his stuff. Jason Ross, I love him. I always will recommend him. He has more of that euphoric type feeling that you used to probably get from like Big Room House. Like I get that same feeling from like Jason Ross. Very like melodic and emotional type of music. I love it so much. Jaws, you know, Jaws always has a soft spot on my heart. He just talks so much on the mic. I just can't do it. I heard his Off the Deep End set, he doesn't talk at all, which I would be there for, but regular sets, I don't know if I could do it. Joel Corey is definitely a house artist that has been blowing up. He has a lot of really hot hits. Some of them you might have heard on TikTok. The one that comes to mind is I think the one that's called Bed. I got a bed, but I'd rather be in yours tonight. Something like that. Don't copyright me, YouTube. John Summit, he is like the next Fisher, honestly. He has been blowing up. He really has been having hit after hit in tech house. Like this is definitely one to keep watching because he just keeps going up and up. Honestly, he's been killing it the past 2 years. Kyle Walker, this is another awesome tech house artist. The tech house on here is fire, honestly. Next up we have Lab Group. This is a group that is made up of 3 different artists. One of them was Charles I, so kind of similar vibes to his music. Definitely has been on the rise in the past year. I feel like I hear more and more people talking about Lab Group, and I think especially after Charles I's passing, I feel like it's definitely hit another wave of that just for people supporting that type of music. Loco Dice, I've never seen before, been dying to. Lost Kings is always a high energy type set. Lucati, awesome tech house artist. Mala, he's pretty classic when it comes to house music. Martin Garrix, we got some big headliners on this lineup, you guys, honestly. Afrojack, Armin, Carl Cox, Martin Garrix, wow. Troda is another bassy tech house artist that I absolutely love. I love some of his stuff. This lineup is still stacked. We haven't even gotten through half of it. Immersive, experimental bass. Mime, I'm pretty sure is house music. More Kismet, this is an artist that has definitely been on the rise. They do more like future based type of music. They're definitely one to watch. They're also, I think, 16 now, I want to say. Super young to be DJing and being on these lineups, which I think is really awesome for them. Nala, I have been wanting to see. She's more so on like an experimental house kind of vibe. I love some of her stuff. She has some releases on Dirty Bird and has a song with Claude Von Stroke as well. Netsky or Netsky for some drum and bass. Of the Trees, similar kind of vibe to Lab Group and Charles the First, I would say. Pauline Hare, she's a vocalist typically, so it's cool to see her on this lineup. I'd be curious if she actually DJs and like plays some of her own stuff too. She used to be on one of my intro songs for YouTube. Peekaboo for some of that wobbly bass. Porter Robinson is on here. Say no more. I love him so much. Not too familiar with Pretty Pink. Quarter, this is another house artist that I've been wanting to see. Roman Silver, this is a bass artist that I've been wanting to see for quite a while, more so future bass. Seven Lions, we love him. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't too impressed with his EDC 2022 set. I've seen so many of his sets though. But I heard good things about his Ultra set. I don't know if it was probably just me. Also, the sound was weird at EDC when we saw him on main stage, so I think that also had to play a part in it. But I still love his Imagine 2019 set, like one of my favorites of all time. Shipwreck, a tech house duo that I have really liked some of their releases. I've actually never seen live before, so that could be a good set. Side Piece, nitty gritty, back-to-back party favor, basically. I saw Side Piece at Seismic Dance Event last year. Really fun tech house set. Like, I had such a fun time at that set, and I would love to see what they've done in the past year because that was May of 2021, so I'd really be curious to see what a set would be like now. Slander, I actually really liked their EDC set. Their set was pretty good, I'm gonna say. Their EDC 2021 set. Subtronix, everyone loves Subtronix. Surf Mesa, I do have a couple of songs saved by them. They have that one song, I Love You Baby, that got really popular on TikTok, but then they've also put out like a more housey type of song, and it was released with someone else that I'm blanking on, but I'd be curious to see what a set is like of theirs. Sudden Death, you know, that is a set I probably would not be at, but I know a lot of people love him. Talkie New Light, another artist that is part of the Night Bass family. His sets are a really good time. Chami's gonna have a Confession label takeover, so not surprising that he's on this lineup. Trivecta for some of those melodic bass vibes. Vinny Vici, more trance. Vanessa, tech house queen, I love her. Wax Motif, he has been bass house, but he's also been producing more tech house, and he's been doing some other type of vibes, which I think is cool that he's experimenting with some other different types of house. Whipped Cream, I haven't seen in a long time, but bass artist, she throws down. Will Clark, love me some Will Clark. I actually got to interview him last year, which was really cool. Recno, I know a lot of people love. That is basically the Electric Zoo lineup. This lineup is stacked, honestly. Some of the highlights that I would have to say would probably be Carl Cox, of course, Porter Robinson for me. And then there's just so much good house music and so much good bass music too that I don't even know where to begin. So good luck with the conflicts, everyone. That's a you problem, not a me problem. But hopefully this helps. If you're going, definitely let me know in the comments and tell me who you're most excited to see. Thank you for tuning into today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.